Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the absolutely incredible natural landscapes of India. We're talking about a country just bursting with a variety of life it's truly staggering.
Okay, let's kick things off with a fact that honestly sets the stage for everything we're about to see. India holds this really special status. It's one of only 12, that's right, just 12 mega biodiverse countries on the entire planet. And, that title, mega biodiverse, it isn't just for show. It means India is a certified global hotspot for life. To really wrap your head around that, think about this. We're talking about a living treasure trove of over 47,000 different plant species and a mind-blowing 90,000 animal species. And they all live right there, coexisting within its borders. Incredible, right? So what does this natural treasure chest actually look like on the ground? Well, to figure that out, we're going to take a journey across the country. We'll explore the 5 major types of forests that make up this vibrant, complex ecosystem. And trust me, each one is a completely unique world of its own. All right, our first stop, we're heading into the lush, dense regions that are always green. I'm talking about the mighty, tropical, evergreen rainforests. So what's it like in there? Well, these forests are like their own multi-layered world. Just picture it. Towering trees, some soaring up to 60 meters high. They create this super thick canopy that basically blocks out the sun, casting the forest floor in this kind of perpetual twilight. And because it's always warm and wet, the trees are constantly growing. They never have a reason to shed their leaves, which is exactly why we call them evergreen. So, what's the secret sauce for these green giants? It's water. A ton of it. We're talking over 200 centimeters of rain every single year. You'll find these incredible ecosystems thriving in places like the Western Ghats and all across Northeast India. Okay, let's do a complete 180. We're going from soaking wet to bone dry. Welcome to the thorn forests and scrubs, a place where survival is the name of the game, and it's all about conserving every last drop of water. I mean, this is just a perfect example of how amazing nature is at adapting, right? With less than 70 centimeters of rain a year, the plants here have had to get really clever to survive. You see trees like cactus and acacia, but they're all scattered, not bunched up. And their leaves? They're small and waxy. That's a specific design to reduce water loss. It's just brilliant, and it's what allows them to thrive in these arid regions like Rajasthan and Gujarat. Putting them side by side like this, wow, it really drives home the dramatic impact of rainfall, doesn't it? On one hand, you've got the dense, tall, broad-leafed world of the evergreen forests, and on the other, the sparse, thorny, spread-out landscape of the thorn forests. It really is a tale of two extremes, and the main character in that story, it's water. All right, next up, we're heading to the most common type of forest you'll find in India. They're so widespread, in fact, that we actually split them into 2 different types. And the deciding factor is something we've already talked about: how much water is available. And this chart breaks it down perfectly. You've got your moist deciduous forests, which get a pretty healthy 100 to 200 centimeters of rain. You'll find those in areas like Jharkhand. Then you have the dry deciduous forests, which, as the name suggests, get a bit less, somewhere between 70 and 100 centimeters. And those are common in places like Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Okay, for our next stop, let's climb. And I mean that literally. We're traveling up into the mountains, where the scenery, the vegetation, it changes with pretty much every step you take upwards. So why do the trees and plants change so much as we climb higher? Well, the answer is actually pretty simple, but it has a huge impact. It's all about a steady drop in temperature as you go up in altitude. Every meter you climb, it gets just a little bit colder. And only very specific types of plants are tough enough to survive those changing conditions. And what this does is create these really distinct bands of ecosystems, almost like layers on a cake. At the bottom, between 1,000 and 2,000 meters, you get wet temperate forests with trees like oak and chestnut. Climb a bit higher, and you're in the world of coniferous forests. Think pine and deodar. Push past 3,600 meters, and it turns into alpine grasslands. And then, way up at the top, right near the snowline, the only things that can hang on are super hardy mosses and lichens. All right, for our final stop on this forest tour, we're headed to the coast. We're going to a place where the forest literally meets the sea, in one of the most unique and vital ecosystems on the planet. You're looking at the planet's ultimate coastline defenders. These are the mangrove forests, and you find them in coastal deltas like the Sundarbans. Just look at those incredible, tangled roots. They're submerged in muddy, salty water, and they lock together to create this dense, living barrier that literally holds the land together and acts as a natural shield against things like tsunamis. And of course, you simply can't talk about the mangroves without talking about their most famous, most iconic resident. The Sundarbans mangrove forest is the legendary home of that magnificent and powerful predator, the Royal Bengal tiger.
But, the value of these forests goes way beyond just providing homes for animals or protecting coastlines. For centuries, India's incredible plant diversity has also been a kind of natural pharmacy. It's like a living library of remedies that have been passed down through generations. And this isn't just folklore, it has real practical benefits for our health. Take sarpaganda, for example. It's used to treat high blood pressure. The seed powder from the jamun fruit helps control diabetes. Neem has powerful antibacterial properties, which is great for skin issues. And many of you probably know tulsi, which is a go-to for curing a cough or a cold.
So we've journeyed through all these incredible natural treasures. But, and this is a big but, it's so important to recognize that they're facing some very real, very significant dangers. Protecting this natural heritage isn't just a nice idea, it's an urgent mission.
So why does India's magnificent wildlife even need our protection in the first place? Unfortunately, the answer lies in a whole cocktail of human-driven threats that are putting immense pressure on these precious ecosystems and, of course, the species that call them home.
So what are we talking about here? Well, the major threats are things like illegal hunting and poaching, pollution from chemicals and waste that literally poisons their habitats, and of course massive deforestation to make way for farms and cities. All of these things combined have pushed so many plant and animal species right to the brink, with many becoming endangered or, sadly, even going extinct.
Now, the good news is, there is a response. To counter these threats, a huge nationwide network has been created to protect these areas. We're talking about the establishment of 18 biosphere reserves, countless national parks and wildlife sanctuaries, and some really dedicated conservation efforts like the world-famous Project Tiger. All of this is designed to protect and preserve India's natural heritage for all of us, for the future.
So as we wrap up our tour, it's pretty clear that India's natural kingdom is both an incredible treasure and a massive responsibility. I mean, think about it. With 13% of all the world's bird species, plus countless other plants and animals at risk, the journey to protect this heritage has really only just begun. And that leaves us with a really important question to think about. What role can we, each of us, play in making sure it survives?